Alright, let us begin with Chapter 2, First Knot. Morning bells. The next day. Salem, Day 2. Oh, I see. So Master went to the village in order to accompany Mr. Carter.
That's right. Robin went along too to keep them safe. He said he's hoping that they can determine whether the figure really is cursed or not as part of our investigation. It looks like we'll just have to rely on Senpai for this. True, we need to be especially careful right now. How's Abigail doing? Abby hasn't left her room since last night. I tried bringing her something to eat, but she wouldn't even touch it. Neja went climbing up on the roof earlier, but I have no idea what she's got in mind. You know, ever since we got here, Neja's been acting like a cat on its last nerve. Maybe she likes kids more than she lets on. Well, anyway, it's hard seeing Abby so down in the dumps. Servant or not, Tituba clearly means a lot to her. Seeing Tituba thrown in jail must have shocked poor Abby. She's very different from the other children here, isn't she? There can't be many children as sensitive as her in this time period. It's especially unusual that she would be so close to a slave.
I'm not so sure about that. It is simply in her nature to be kind. Anyone can be compassionate like she is. It's just a matter of actually wanting to.
I agree with Sanson. Prejudice only takes root in certain environments. Abby lives a relatively wealthy life, at least by the standards of this colony. And she seems to have a very good education as well, thanks to Mr. Carter. And somehow, even after the loss she suffered, she's held on to her natural cheerfulness. I think that might be her greatest strength, but she still couldn't have done it alone. It's only because Tituba, someone else who knew her parents well, was there beside her. It must have been a big help to have a close family friend around to talk with her parents gone. And that's why she's taking this so hard. She's afraid she's about to lose someone else that she loves again. You know, when I put it that way, it kind of sounds like someone else we know, doesn't it? About that. When we went to look for Abby after she ran away yesterday, I found out that...
Extreme fear of Native Americans, huh?
Yes, but it wasn't just fear, it was... I'm not sure how to put this.
It was PTSD.
Loathing? Or maybe a strong fixation. Whatever it was definitely unusual. So that's also why you thought there was something different about her then. What did Master have to say about that? Medea, where were you this morning? Answer the question, Mash. Well, yesterday I was still processing it myself, and along with everything else that happened last night, I never got a good chance to tell him. I see. That may actually be for the best.
What do you mean by that, Medea?
I've turned the house into a magical workshop. I just finished the rite a moment ago.
You what?
Are you sure that was a good idea? It seems like the kind of thing that we really should have asked Mr. Carter about. Oh, don't be such a wet blanket. I had to do it if we were ever going to contact Caldia.
Regardless, that was awfully bold, especially given the circumstances. People might have seen you.
Were you in your spirit form? Yes. Eh? And what's more, you should all be able to use your spirit forms now too. At least within this house and its grounds.
Well, I'll be. So it would seem. I guess we have your right to thank for this, but what exactly is going on?
Now we can change into our spirit forms too, you said. That makes it sound like you already could. Well, of course. Who do you think you're talking to? Medea. Hecate herself taught me magecraft. There's no point in just speculating about what might be happening here. What we need is proof. Proof that there's something strange about this whole village, magically and historically. Proof that this whole land, that Salem itself, is the real heretical version of history. As such, in order to observe it properly, I needed a workshop that I could withdraw to, somewhere isolated from any outside influence.
I see. Then I trust you'll fill us in on the details once Master returns. Along with why you're the only one who avoided being pseudo-incarnated.
My, so direct and forceful, aren't you? Heretical history. Then does that mean that this land, Salem as it is now, is actually a separate dimension created with magecraft, rather than its actual past self having been brought here unintentionally? I think so. I still can't read the rules on some of these destiny currents, but I'm trying to identify the root of their unusual phenomena cycles. If it was magecraft, then someone here should have a soul that can never be fulfilled, and a will to bring about the curse that caused this.
And that should lead us to the Demon God Pillar, yes?
I believe so. I see. I don't think I've ever seen you work so hard on anything before, Medea. Me neither.
Hiccup, sorry.
Me neither. But it's very encouraging and a nice change of pace. Huh? What do you mean by...
How can you say you've never seen Medea work so hard before? Have you ever seen her painting her own saber figurine? Now that is a very hard-working Medea.
Well, we can deal with all that stuff later. We already told Master and Mash about this, but Samson and I discovered something unusual too. Yesterday we met a girl called Lavinia Waitley. She's the little albino child that we ran into in the forest on our first night here. But more importantly, she comes from a family of mages. Wait, what?
The Waitley house is far from the village, and its basement appears to contain a magical workshop. It has been concealed, but very roughly. We found discarded alchemy equipment strewn about nearby. We also found animal remains buried in their yard that seem to have been used for dark magic rituals.
What did this underground workshop look like? Does this mean that the girl's family are practicing mages?
Well, I'm afraid we still don't know for sure. Neither Matahari nor I could have gone inside without leaving a trace.
That sort of thing is... That sort of thing is more up Robin's alley.
There was nothing more that we could do. Without Master's permission, we couldn't risk getting any closer. Even if we could have used our spirit forms, we couldn't know we wouldn't be walking into a trap.
That's okay, just knowing that there's a magical workshop there is more than enough. We still need to be careful about how we handle this, though. If the people of Salem find out about the Whateleys are mages, there's no telling what they might do.
Mash, I believe you said that Lavinia and Abby are good friends.
Yes, that's what Abby told me. However, it also seems that the people here strongly dislike the Whateleys. And I don't know how much Abby knows about that, if anything. Mages, huh? That could be even worse than the clergy.
Also, may I say something? I'm not sure if this is because of the rite you completed here, Medea, but...
Oh, did you remember something already? Go on, tell us.
Yes, I did. Something very important, actually. The new judge that showed up out of nowhere last night, Matthew Hopkins. I know him. Or rather, I know of him. He is, like me, one of the most famous executioners in history.
He is? Then he's not really a judge.
Oh no, he's a judge. He's just also a jury and an executioner. He's a judge, executioner, jury, executioner, your opponent, and if necessary, your executioner. He very much likes the executioner part.
I couldn't make heads or tails of that man. Who is he?
He's...
Wait, stop.
Ah, good morning, Abigail.
Good morning, everyone. What were you all whispering about? Nezha told me about how Uncle is out with Mr. Ringmaster right now. He went to see how Taduba's doing, right? That's right, so please don't worry, Abby. I'm sure that Senpai and Mr. Carter will clear Tatuba's name. Yeah, I guess you're right. And plus Nezha's here too. Nezha, what about her? The young girl refused porridge. I added spice. She ate. Well, what she's trying to say is that we talked about all sorts of things while I had my porridge. And she told me that if I found any bad guys that she would beat them to a pulp. That she'd make them completely evaporate before even a drop of their blood has a chance to hit the ground. It sounded truly frightening, but I also kind of want to see it now. Of course, I would be delighted. That sort of violent performance isn't really what we're going for with this troupe. Maybe I should pray to God and ask for forgiveness.
Lot of good that'll do. I mean, what? I've seen various gods and their levels of forgiveness. I mean, what?
At any rate, we have a lot we need to discuss with Master as soon as he gets back. You mean about your plays? Yes, of course. Specifically, we need to discuss the tragedy and comedy taking place right here on Salem's own stage.
Do not clue the child in on possible... Stop letting things slip in front of Abigail. It's not that hard, guys. Come on.
Wow, this is really different before it became America. America?
I mean, wow, we should really talk about the tragedy and comedy going on in Salem.
The what now?
I mean, come on. Oh my. MASH? In a room? With only one bed?
Welcome back, Senpai. Mr. Carter went out again, and he took Abby with him. He said he was going to the church to speak with the Reverend. It sounds like they're all concerned about what's going on with the other children. So right now, we're the only ones here.
It's time to speak of heresy.
How did your investigation go? You said you met with Judge Hopkins.
It was awful. You mind telling them, Robin?
Are you okay? You look pale.
I don't blame him.
Why don't you have a seat in that comfy chair and try to relax, Senpai? We learned a few things too while you were out, so I'd like to make sure that we're all equally caught up.
You've been a big help, MASH.
Thank you, Senpai. That's what I was hoping to be when I asked to come along. Okay, to start, let's go over what happened with Matthew Hopkins, the judge that suddenly showed up last night.
Man, I don't know what that Hopkins guy's deal is. First of all, Master Carter and me went to the town's holding cell to talk to Tituba. But all the guard would tell us is that she wasn't allowed any visitors, orders from the top and all.
So you weren't permitted to see her at all, then?
Nope, turns out that in this case, holding cell is just a fancy way of saying underground prison. I snuck a quick peek inside the cell and it was a real hellhole. There were rats and cockroaches everywhere, water leaking from the walls, the whole place smelled like something had died. And never mind sunlight, the only light in the whole jail was a few dim torches in the hall. Any more than a day in that dump and you'd lose your goddamn mind.
Well, what about Tituba then? Did you see her at all?
Tituba's... well, she's still alive, I guess. She was curled up in a ball and freaking out something fierce.
Poor Tituba. Coward! Rescue! Simplicity itself! Why did you not?
'Cause I'm a coward, obviously. Especially here in Salem. Stop it, Neja. Remember, Master and Robin went to clear her name, not to break her out. If we were overstepping our bounds like that, we would only end up furthering suspicion against her.
I see. Yes, you were right. Apologies, Robin. Thoughtless of me, that.
Yeah, no problem. Anyway, like I was saying, it was all Hopkins' call not to let anyone see her. Wouldn't even let her owner, Carter, in. So we decided to go talk to him directly. We found him staying in a room at the fanciest mansion in town. A ship captain by the name of Turner built it. Turns out it had a guest room specially reserved for judges and preachers and bigwigs like that.
Okay, so you went to see Hopkins directly. Did he seem to be a demon god pillar?
A demon god pillar? You serious? How the hell should I know? What was I gonna do, shoot him in the face and see if he transformed? Come on. In the end, all I could do was watch Master get worn out. Sorry for all the trouble, Robin. He was a pretty tough opponent.
Being exhausted from consecutive battles is one thing, but I can't believe you're this exhausted just from talking to someone, Senpai.
I imagine it was probably like talking to a brick wall.
Maybe the magical erosion caused by the curse that Medea is concerned about is affecting Master too.
Huh? What are you talking about?
That's definitely important too, but first, we want to hear more about what happened there. How did Mr. Carter handle the negotiations?
Carter's a pretty level-headed guy, but he's also got balls of steel. I've got balls of steel. He went toe-to-toe with Hopkins the whole time. You'd never know he was just a mild-mannered professor. He's voice-acted by John St. John, and he used to be in Duke Nukem.
Abby told me Carter served during a war.
Ah, a military man. That explains it. He walks just a bit gingerly. Must be an old war wound.
I'm impressed you caught that, Sanson. I didn't notice at all.
Carter didn't even try for an emotional appeal or anything like that. He just said that Tituba was his own private property and refused to budge from his claim that taking her away like this was unlawful seizure. He even said he would seek punitive damages if this resulted in any impediment to her ability to work. The constables who were there were pretty freaked when Carter said how much money he would ask for, but Hopkins didn't even blink.
The cursed doll. What of it? What became of that evidence?
Well, that's where our ringmaster showed what he was made of. He kept insisting to see the figure again to determine whether there was black magic at work.
But
all Hopkins would say was, the devil has taken up residence in that doll just as he has taken up residence in Tituba. One need only look at the suffering child to see the hand of the devil in all this. If we are to limit the curse's reach, we cannot have people getting near or even touching that doll.
ironically, that would be the sensible move in a situation involving magecraft.
But Mr. Carter wasn't having that, so he decided to speak with the Reverend, who made the diagnosis, I hope that he can convince the Reverend to come around. Yeah, me too.
Now it's just a race against time. What do you mean?
Hopkins is going to try to extract confessions from his suspects. That is what he does best.
Who is Hopkins? It's time you told us, Sanson.
All right. From what I know, Matthew Hopkins was a British attorney. If this is indeed 1692, Hopkins would be quite elderly, yet he does not seem so. However, history tells us he died in 1647, almost half a century ago if Abigail gave us the correct date. I can only surmise that history is wrong in this. During his life, he was best known by the title of Witchfinder General. If he hates witches, is he a religious figure? No, he's not an official inquisitor, affiliated with any church. Matthew Hopkins made witch hunts his life's work. The title was, so far as we know, one he gave himself. He supported himself with the rewards he got from hunting witches. His methods were brutal, even cruel, but people went along with them. I heard that he was responsible for the execution of 300 so-called witches in East England over the course of 3 years.
300 people? In only 3 years? But weren't all of them innocent?
Most of them, yes, I expect. Ugh, what a scumbag. So he went around seeing innocent people strung up as witches just to make a buck?
Did you say they were hanged? I thought witches were burned at the stake back then.
The vast majority of these witch hunts resulted in hangings, especially in England. Witchcraft was considered a grave crime against the teachings of God. As such, suspected witches were tried and executed the same as other felons. Burning someone at the stake was more of a form of torture than execution, and also served as a warning to anyone watching. As executions go, hanging is far more efficient and less painful. As these people are British colonists, they probably share many of the same sensibilities. We've got to watch out for Hopkins, then.
I agree. He is definitely our biggest threat right now, whether he's with the Demon God Pillar or not.
Putting Tituba in that disgusting underground prison will wear on her mind, and quickly. If an ordinary person is locked away starved and denied visitors, they might last a week. No, 3 days at most.
3 days. So that's what you meant by a race against time. Sanson, very knowledgeable about this.
Yeah, I wonder why. Well, gotta hand it to you, Prince Nezha. You're way better with kids than me.
So then, you were never able to examine the evidence?
Well, I took a look at it, but I couldn't tell you one way or the other. It just looked like a regular handcrafted doll. Damn, just put a bullet in you? Most hangings, death is instantaneous as a result of neck snapping immediately. Most. Why do you think the gallows were built above the ground so high and that the rope dropped them down instead of just the rope hanging them in place? It drops you down so that the weight of your body snaps your neck on the way down, so it's seen as a more humane way of murdering someone. As they don't have to suffer, because they'll die instantly. Hooray for history! It just looked like a regular handcrafted doll.
Well, that means that I'll need to examine it myself. For all of your talents, Master, I don't think you'd be the best equipped to handle this sort of thing.
No, that's fair. We're pretty bad mage. All we have is lots of stamina.
It would be great if you could do that, but...
First, tell us about this workshop ritual.
Of course. I believe you already heard the general outline that I gave to the others earlier. I'll spare you the details. In summary, I took the liberty of turning this house into my workshop. It should be quite helpful, as it seems we'll largely be staying here during our mission.
See, chat, the real reason you can tell that it's not Medea is because there aren't Artoria figurines lining the walls already, if it's her workshop. I see. Indeed, as of now, the area we're investigating here is much smaller compared to past missions.
My primary aim was to ensure that I could make full use of my magecraft, but there are other benefits as well. That is, so long as we're in my workshop, we're not affected by the influence this land is having on us.
You mean you can use your spirit forms again?
Right, but that's only a very small part of this. Oh? Can anyone here describe what Tituba looks like in detail? Huh? What do you mean?
I know she's, a mild-mannered woman with brown skin, but... that's strange.
What about the color of her eyes, her hairstyle, her build, her age? Now that you mention it, I can't remember anything like that.
Oh man, I can't either. What the hell? Damn, you're right, Medea. We didn't even know we were caught in the enemy's trap.
So then something has been interfering with our awareness, or maybe our memories.
And as long as we're inside this workshop, we're not subject to that interference, correct?
Right. If this bounded field can so easily interfere with a servant's senses, it must be the sort that would typically require a divine spirit to create. And yet, we still can't get a firm grasp on it. It's as though it slips away whenever we try.
You were the one that discovered this, Medea, so what do you think?
Well, isn't it obvious? Tituba has been concealing her true appearance all along. Actually, she is the one who strikes me as odd at this point. More so than Hopkins, in fact. If anyone here has a connection to the Demon God Pillar, I bet it's her.
Not Medea is very good at this.
Ideally, I would have liked to examine her after she returned here to Mr. Carter's house, but since that no longer seems to be possible, I'll just have to go and examine her myself.
That seems like it'd put you at a hell of a disadvantage. Well, I guess you're the only one who hasn't been so affected by the bounded field. I guess that's why you're the Queen Witch, or whatever, yeah?
You know it. I'm the baddest witch of all. No need to be shy about it.
Huh, I kinda thought that might piss you off. I guess Salem agrees with you or something.
I know that we're already asking a lot of you, Medea, but there's something else we need your help with.
Oh right, what about contacting Caldia?
I've been focusing on getting the workshop done, so I haven't made any progress there yet, but I'm about to. I'd give it about a 50-50 chance of working, sadly. Master, I think that this is your call. Do we focus on saving or possibly capturing Tituba, or on making contact with Caldia?
Well, we can't just throw Tituba to the wolves. What do you think, Mash?
Well, this is an important mission, so I guess that we should focus on making contact with Caldia. We don't have any time to waste, Senpai. We need to consider our options carefully. I'm pretty sure that long face of yours isn't going to convince Master of anything of the sort.
Nope.
I guess not.
Anyway, there might be a whole bunch of problems we've got to solve, but it's not like we've suffered any losses ourselves so far, yeah? So don't get mad at me for saying this, but I don't think contacting Caldia needs to be a priority right now. Oh, you're backing me up on this, Medea.
Yes, I agree. Given the circumstances, making contact with Caldia can wait. For now, I'm going to pay Hopkins a visit. Would you mind escorting me, Ringmaster? I'd like to say that no one else needs to come along, but I doubt that we will be well received. Oh, me! I'll go along too.
Anyone else want to come? Anybody? We can hit the store on the way back. Pick up some groceries. Snacks. Then I shall join you as well. I think there may be something I can do to improve the situation.
That would be great. Thank you, Sanson. Okay then, in the meantime, we'll keep investigating the village. Robin, Neja, shall we?
Sure thing. I guess we'll head back to the Waitley estate.
Understood.
Remember, if Judge Hopkins wants to be difficult, we can just turn him into a rule breaker him. Because it's Medea. Cough, cough.
Gouda, was it? I do not care how many times you ask. I will not be releasing a suspect held in custody. If she is truly innocent, then she has nothing to fear. Do not interfere with my work. You are oddly presumptuous for a band of traveling performers. Unless you have some personal reason to protect the suspect's detention.
Senpai, are you sure it was a good idea to face him head-on like this?
It's the quickest way for Medea to get a look.
That may be true, but still... Gouda, Mash, you need to keep Hopkins talking. Make him show you the evidence he seized.
Okay, here goes.
Absolutely not. That evidence is crucial to this case. This is not up for discussion.
Isn't there anything that we can do?
Why are you so fixated on this object? The slave woman has already admitted to making it.
That may be, but...
Your Honor.
And who might you be?
My name is Charles Henry Sensen. I'm a member of the Gouda Company.
A Frenchman, eh? You're certainly a long ways from home.
Indeed. I have been wandering for a long time, but I also know a thing or two about medicine. In fact, I've treated a significant number of patients. Furthermore, I'm told that there are people here who have fallen ill with children among their number. So if it would please Your Honor, I would ask your permission to examine them.
Well now, this is a surprise. You, a doctor? No doubt you mean to charge exorbitant prices for some poor potion or such. Or perhaps you are a heretic yourself.
Nothing of the sort, Your Honor. For example, I can see that you suffer from joint pain.
And what does that prove? The same could be said for most men of my age.
I'm sure the inclement weather we've been having lately doesn't help either. Perhaps your aching joints have put you in a foul mood. I can also see that you enjoy your liquor, but you don't care a lot you don't care for a lot of milk in your tea. If I may, I would suggest that you refrain from drinking too much. It would also do you good to eat more fresh vegetables rather than subsist only on bread and meat. I suggest zucchini. I also recommend salad with parsley and apple vinegar dressing. It will help with the pain. They do say diet is the root of good health.
I cannot say I approve of your methods, Frenchman. Any layman could do the same. I can all but hear you shouting that you aren't like those ghouls who think applying a few leeches entitles them to a reward. But very well, I shall grant you permission to examine the patients. However, you are not to harm or puncture their bodies in any way, nor are you permitted to administer anything brought in from outside of their homes. Also, you may charge no fee. You will be paid a fixed amount per household from the village coffers.
Thank you, Your Honor. That is far more than enough.
Oh, this is great. Now we can examine the villagers as much as we like. Plus, I think this could help with our investigation, right, Senpai?
That was a very you way to handle it, Sanson. Good job, bud. I hope you don't mind my taking the liberty, Ringmaster.
Hopkins, your first responsibility lies neither to the villagers nor to your decrepit knees and back. It's to the health of a valuable witness, to Tuba. As a fellow woman, I'm going to examine her whether you like it or not. Give me the key to her cell now. Medea? I'm sorry, Mash, Ringmaster. There's just something about this man I can't stand.
Well now, If you've come to perform a farce, I'm afraid you are in the wrong place.
And what of you? Are you really fit to serve as the guardian of the law that you claim to be?
Medicine is an intellectual practice, and so is the domain of men. The superstitious nonsense that women espouse as healing is nothing more than witchcraft. Tell me, woman, are you a witch?
I am wisdom itself. Deep, womanly wisdom. Clearly, you do not believe that women have anything useful to offer in their experience or stories.
You watch your mouth. How dare you address His Honor that way?
They don't know what you're messing with.
Hold. These people didn't come here to enact violence. I've heard stories myself, you know, including ones about thieves who disguise themselves as traveling performers. Indeed, I see now that such a cover would be perfect for those with larcenous intent. Cunning clowns win over the children, and obscenely dressed dancing girls beguile good, upstanding men. They mislead the townspeople with caricatures of bystanders and voyeurs, then take advantage of the commotion to steal from them. At times, they even commit arson or burglary and disappear like so much smoke. Once they leave, they never return to that town, not even caring what manner of evidence they leave behind. What a foolish, dim-witted notion. Such greedy bandits could never hope to perform a refined tragedy, nor a moving comedy. None could ever compare to King Lear or the Merchant of Venice as I saw them in the London Globe Theatre.
Don't lump us in with bandits like that. Also, don't make me call Shakespeare over here.
That's right. We're performing the best that we can.
Hypocrite. Arson and burglary are precisely what you yourself did during your witch hunts. Still, could it be that he regrets his past now? He almost seems like he's trying to make amends. Nope, he gonna frame our asses.
I swear to you that we respect Salem's customs and would never do anything to compromise its piety.
You don't say. I'll tell you now that I sent a messenger down to Boston to visit someone who knows the city well. And he reported back that no one had ever heard of a troupe calling themselves the Gouda Company. That is not in itself a significant problem. Massachusetts has not forgotten the Boston witch trial of John Goodwin from 4 years ago. 4 children began having strange seizures, and as expected, an old witch was responsible for them. Indeed, the devil frequently makes use of women for his evil means. How can you be certain that this slave woman is not one of his pawns? And so I declare that Salem must be placed on high alert. There are witches in our midst. The devil is here in Salem. There is no telling what form he may take.
Does this mean you're banishing us?
So you would confess your guilt by running away? Quite the opposite. Gouda, I give you permission to perform for the entire town.
Huh?
And you will perform. Tonight, you will give a masterful performance that moves everyone here. And in so doing, you will demonstrate that you truly are performers. Gather as many villagers as will fit in the town hall and give them a good show.
We just did that last night.
That was only a select few. This will be for the rest of the village, and if your play does not move them, I will have you arrested as bandits pretending to be performers and investigate you all thoroughly.
If we succeed, will you release Tituba from prison?
That is a promise that I cannot make. A crime is still a crime. But I can say that if it goes to trial, your success will leave a much better impression on the jurors. By the way, the jurors include me, myself, and I. And one more thing. That woman will not be in your cast when you perform.
Huh? Me? Why?
Lock her in a cell as well, to ensure her compatriots do not flee in the night.
You can't be serious.
You were extremely rude to a judge. Be grateful I do not pass sentence on you here and now. In fact, I will even put you next to Tituba, just as you wished.
Hopkins?
Ah, truly convincing anguish. I hope to see such pathos from all you actors tonight.
Medea, this is all so sudden. You want us to perform tonight? What play should we...
Do not worry, I will select that for you as well. For it must be about something that Salem needs now more than ever.
I mean, let's put it this way. Even at half strength, if you've got a servant like shackled in normal shackles, the servant can just be like, all right, this is dumb. Rip their arms free and then murder you. So, it'll be fine. Say it with me, chat. Say the ayayas. Here, let's throw in some caster servants for extra bomb points that aren't going to be used too terribly often, so that they can get some bondage points. Throw chat into the shackles of bondage. I know what this fight is, so it's no fun. I'm sorry I played JP. Look, I'm still blank on the story, so you get my first impressions of that. So, we gotta put on a play to clear our names. The hell's that old man thinking? There's no reason we gotta put up with this crap. He's just gonna find something else to criticize.
But Medea's been taken hostage and Tituba is still in prison. If we're going to save them, we have to earn everyone's trust.
Indeed, resorting to violence would be playing right into his hands. Easy for you to say, you get to run off somewhere else.
There's nothing we can do about that, Robin. Villagers have been coming to ask for Sanson's help since they heard about his medical expertise.
Hey, I got no problem with him prioritizing patients. I appreciate that, Master, and I'm sorry for leaving you all at a time like this. Now then, I must be off.
Be careful out there, Sanson. Master, what did Hopkins say?
He wants to play about burning a witch at the stake.
A stake, so we simply need to burn it. That is not so hard.
Burning at the stake, huh? Well, that's just great. Like Frenchie said, England hasn't used that method of execution in forever. Play or not, that's gonna leave a nasty impression on the villagers.
He clearly wants us to impress on everyone how dangerous witches are. Still, does this mean he wants us to put on a tragedy? Because I think making an example out of the witch would only cause the audience to sympathize with her.
And if we do that, we'll end up in trouble because he'll just say it's proof we support heresy. Damn it, we don't have time to figure this shit out before we go on stage. Say, wasn't there a script about Joan?
Yes, there was. However, I'm afraid it could be considered a bit, difficult? This may not be for me to say, but I honestly have no idea what Anderson was thinking when he wrote it. Hey, it's not like it's a major epic that takes several days to perform, right? Let's do it. Besides, we've all got the hang of performing after last night's play.
Maybe we could ad-lib in response to the audience, too.
Understood. That said, Medea isn't here tonight. And we don't have time for you to memorize the script, Senpai. So I'll just have to join you all on stage myself.
Wait, you're serious?
Are you sure, Mash? You will not freeze up?
I don't know about this. Mash isn't exactly great at lying or even hiding how she feels. Then again, maybe that would work to our advantage if she plays a bit part. Village girl or something?
She'd be taking over for Medea in the lead role. I just hope that she can handle it. No fair. Why are you all ganging up on me like this? If that's how it's going to be, then I'm not going to feed you your lines, even if you forget one.
Bully the eggplant.
My name is Jean. I am known as La Pucelle, the Maiden of Orleans.
Deep breaths, Mash. Just stay calm. Try pretending the audience are all baguettes.
1 baguette, 2 baguette, 3 baguettes, 5 baguettes, 13, 20. I can't eat that many. This is a tale of tragedy and of miracles. Our story begins with Joan, a girl from the village of Dom Remy, miraculously hearing the voice of God. Tonight, you will see how Joan goes on to don armor, command soldiers, and ride a white horse into battle with her flag held aloft. You will see her become Saint Jeanne d'Arc, the hero who saves France. And yet, a tragic end awaits this heroine. Tonight, the Gouda Company is proud to present The Liberation of Jeanne d'Arc. We begin in France during the middle of the 100 Years' War. Hold it, just hold it right there. That voice, who are you?
Wouldn't trying to make it a tragic story about Jeanne d'Arc not work well, considering these are all English people? British people, basically, and England was in war against France in the 100 Years' War and called Jeanne d'Arc a heretic and burned her at the stake because of it? But I guess that's none of my business. Sips water.
Who are you? I recognize that voice. Could it be? Just hold up now. This isn't the damn Big Bang. Don't start all the way at the beginning. How are we gonna get through this crap tonight if you start at the freaking 100 Years' War? Are you my other self? No way, not by a long shot. But that's probably too much for this weird place, so yeah, let's just say I am. I'm the dark side you didn't know you had, no matter how much they praise you or put you on a pedestal. In the end, they aren't going to call you a heretic. They are going to call you a heretic and burn you as a witch for no good reason. They're going to ship you out to Rowan and burn you like a stack of kindling. Who is the English army? Who do you think, genius? Which means tonight's play is actually called The Burning of Jeanne d'Arc. Oh my, I certainly don't want to present a distorted view of history, but couldn't we at least show them the French coronation ceremony? It's a wonderful thing to behold. No way! I swear to God, no way! Kill me first. I'd rather die than see that little twit Charles coronated. But don't you find it incredibly moving? Everyone's hearts joined together as one, joyous words of celebration echoing through the cathedral. Ah, at last, the great Archangel Michael's prophecy has come to pass, and France has been saved. Hurrah! Hurrah! Noel! Noel!
Think you mean no damn way? I'm not gonna sprinkle in the extra curses that they put in for no good reason. Cause those aren't supposed to be there.
Did somebody say Noel? You did, didn't you? Another new voice, and who might you be? Oh, for God's... Not her, anyone but her! It's me, Jeanne d'Arc, Alter Santa Lily.
Hadoru!
And you all know what Noel means. Christmas!
Merry Christmas, chat.
Tonight we will be performing neither liberation nor burning, but rather... the Three Little Jones. Huh? What the actual hell, the Three Little Jones? Oh, another version of me has shown up. That's right, and here's the story. The big bad wolves are coming. We need to band together as sisters and fortify our defenses as we're going to withstand their onslaught. Hey Hans, what the hell? You're ripping off the Three Little Pigs now? Actually, I think we're okay since it still hasn't been published in the 17th century. Spare me the meta stuff. That's not the point here, alright? Excuse me, but the big bad wolves are heading this way as we speak. Come on, we need to build a house. I agree. Fortifying one's defenses is very important. Yeah, well, I'm not doing jack squat. I remember this story. I know how it ends. The wolves are just gonna eat us one at a time anyway. We don't know that for certain. We may have been foolish enough to charge at the English army with nothing more than a few spear techniques. But if we work together, we can defend against this threat. Doesn't that sound nice?
I know how Anderson writes. You're all gonna get eaten.
That's right. At least if we get eaten, we'll get eaten together. Helping or hurting, Lily? Helping or hurting?
Sherlock, no, this is Anderson's writing. Look!
Done! Just look at our lovely new house. It's wonderful. Now we can't possibly lose. You just had to open your damn mouth, didn't you? Besides, something isn't right here. We're ripping off the 3 little pigs, right? So shouldn't the first house be straw? This thing's gotta be even stronger than brick. Where's the story supposed to go from here? Oh, wait, though. Maybe that's for the best. Big bad wolves these days breathe lots of fire, so we need to be prepared for that. What kind of wolf breathes fire? Why's everything gotta be about fire with you?
Hello, pot. That is the kettle. Stop calling it black.
I guess that's kind of rich coming from me, though. The enemy's here. Come, we must prepare for battle. What the hell? Are you serious? That's a bunch of top-tier arsonist whack jobs. We cannot ask for worthier opponents. Come now, show us what you've got. We can do this! Yes, we can!
So the unknown servants we can bring are the banana, the umu, and the
Anshin-sama?
there we go. I found ways to describe them without their names. Blessing of a brick? I believe that was called the protection of bricks in Japanese. Oh, let me turn that down. Sorry, that's loud. You can't hear me over that. I believe that was called the protection of bricks rather than blessing of, but whatever. That was much less damage than I was expecting to put out. I guess the bricks are powerful.
Mary, attack!
That didn't crit. Re. That's true, they are very special anti-fire bricks. No crits, Re. Why am I not allowed crits? Re. I've gotten so unlucky. We're gonna lose the fight. We're gonna lose the fight and have to revive everyone. Oh well. I can't believe I just got like no crits, man.
行くぞ。よし。
キラキラキラキラ。
無駄だ。無駄だ。
Wrecked by bricks, wrecked by RNG. If either of our 60 to 70% chance crits critted, it was over. Easy win.
Shan 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 shan.
ここまで食らえ。
あら、夜はまだこれからでしょ。
いい鍵盤には女神の加護が宿るものさ。いい鍵盤には女神の加護が宿るものさ。
期待に応えるわ。いっちゃん。真っ赤なゼリーを分けてあげる。真っ赤なゼリーを分けてあげる。
さて、どのバッハがお好みかな。
期待。いっちゃん。
Ciao.
痛々しく。ディナータイムね。
これは憎悪によって磨かれた我が魂の方向。ラグロンドメント・デュヘイン。
Yeah, huh? I had a feeling. Had a feeling it was going to be aimed at the one I wanted it to be least aimed at.
メリーアタック。もう。いっちゃん。
フォルテッシモ。
Fortissimo.
メリーアタック。
Owie. Do it, Elizabeth.
メインディッシュね。高ぶるわ。いっちゃん。
Win for me, Ellie-chan. Burn them.
はーい。とっておきのスペシャルコラボよ。バートリハロウィーンエルジャイメト。寒いです。痛々しく。
Oh my god, Joan Alter Santa Lily is alive. How did that happen?
トナカイさん、お願いします。チャヤー。メリーアタック。
公園。
Toria.
期待いっちゃん。
Elizabeth is the true savior of France.
ディナータイムね。あいた。ごちそうさま。次の夜までおやすみなさい。
Joan was killed by a witch. You know what? That's exactly what he wanted to see, right? So close, not even close. Easiest fight of my life. I'm gonna make life easier on myself now. Aya, ya, 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 aya, 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 ya, ya, aya, aya. Yeah, we'll just, we will bring our Empress with us. Our Gouda Gouda Empress. To make life easier.
See, I knew you were out of your league. They're not letting up at all. That's hot. Retreat! Retreat! Not yet. I won't run away after merely having my castle burned down. This time I shall vanquish them. Kinda weird that she's the most bloodthirsty of us all, don't you think? Ta-da! All done. I used ecologically friendly materials, so this one should be, better for the environment? Now you build a stick house? How is this an improvement? All we had was material left from building the castle, so I can't really say I'm surprised. Fortunately, this will be a perfect chance to polish up my defensive noble phantasm. Cut the crap. One of us is gonna get seriously burned here. You realize that? Here they come! They don't have anything to do with fire, right? I think we have a real shot here.
Yeah, they have nothing to do with fire. They're all the sun. Don't worry about that. That's not fire at all.
Oh, they're all connected to the freaking sun! This is even worse!
Little Jones, let me in.
一気火星に畳みかける。
これを
ちゃちゃのなんかすごい力をくらえ。
じゃあこういうのどうだ？
このちゃちゃがオールウェイとお見通し。
Chat, Cha-Cha is adorable.
あ
ちゃちゃ。
ええあなたに
ちゃっちゃ
あ、罠だ。
開いた。わあ。開いた。せい。開いた。
くらえ
メリーアタック。
うわ、
ではこれを
つまんない連中だな。他にやることないの？
ちゃちゃのなんかすごい。
Yay! Yay! We got blessed by her falling on her butt.
ご覧になってください。ご命令とあれば
ちゃちゃの
承知いたしました
本気を見せてやろう。すごいぞ、本当に。
スタレイ四天王
Good animation, RNG.
ゴズ天皇の紳士たち参ります。豪王将来天満開会。
このちゃちゃからは日輪すら逃れられぬ。行けい。知識は朽ちぬ煉獄の者の二つ。いざや降臨。剣南魔界一輪じゃー。
Micro Bikini Cha-Cha will be arcade exclusive. I will go to Japan and steal an arcade machine.
ご覧になってください。
じゃあこういうのどうだ？
承知いたしました。あらあらまあまあ。
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun. All right, enough of that. We need to put on a good outfit. That's a good outfit. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, this team will probably win. Probably.
Damn it, didn't they teach you idiots to pull your punches at acting school or whatever? This is terrible. Retreat! We must make a temporary retreat.
Strange. I don't remember the burning of Jeanne d'Arc being quite this upbeat.
True, it is strange, but it is an enjoyable sort of strange. I didn't much care for that dark Jeanne d'Arc at first, but I find she's growing on me. There's a lot of significance to her misfortune.
I couldn't agree more. It shows what happens when one acts purely out of envy, hatred, and anger. They did an excellent job of presenting that as both a lesson and a comedy. But at any rate, neither witches nor stake burnings have anything to do with God-fearing people like us, so let's just relax and enjoy the show. As oblivious as can be.
Why are their eyes just potatoes? Because they matter literally 0%. And when you matter 0%, your eyes don't exist.
Huh?
Is something wrong, Abigail?
I thought I just saw Lavinia outside of town hall.
Did you now?
Well, So we're going to Cloth now, huh? Well, that about figures. I guess we're stuck between a rock and a soft place. But we're done for! If these flimsy tents are the best that we can build, then... Over there! I can see the last enemy troops coming into view. Wait, did you say troops? Oh great, the whole English army! Screw the wolves, we're talking big bad round table lions now. Alas, both God and Reindeer Son have forsaken this world.
La Poussière!
I don't believe it. I recognize all of you.
We are honored that you remembered us. Every one of us has fought beside you before. We have come on General Rise's orders to ensure your safety.
Oh my, the General himself.
We couldn't imagine not being by your side during this final decisive battle. The glory of the Maiden of Orleans' liberation shall be ours once again. La Poussière! Jean La Poussière! Jean La Poussière! I hope I'm saying that right.
Oh, fantastic. Now we've got a bunch of meat shield dumbasses all drunk on the idea of some glorious battle nonsense.
Make-believe story though this may be, I cannot allow you to be captured and branded a witch.
General Jill de Rai. To be honest, I thought you would never return.
I see your bad habits remain unchanged. You simply cannot help but rush headlong into battle even before God's protection has reached you. I am forever trying to catch up to you, which is exactly why you are so beautiful. However, the battlefield demands patience if we are to emerge victorious, all the more so if the scales of victory balance upon our shoulders.
Indeed. You are exactly right, General.
Ah! God is with us! Blessed be the teachings of Salem!
Jill. Ha! God or no God, I knew you'd show up whether I wanted you to or not. Also, for the record, none of this crap is about Salem.
Oh? Then let me ask you, my dark holy maiden. Will you save our homeland? Will you save France? I shall follow you wherever you lead.
Meh. Not like what I say is gonna change anything at this point. Screw it, let's do this. Might as well kick some ass since we're kicking and screaming.
Yes, now that is the genre that I know.
Merry Christmas. I trust all is well with you, Lil.
I should have expected him. I forgot about him.
It's my mentor. Having you show up like this is the best present I could have asked for. Huh? Are you kidding me? What's wrong with you people?
Now, assemble into formation, quickly. Let La Puchelle's flag lead our way. Yeah!
Oh, that's right, I nearly forgot. What truly keeps us safe is neither walls or brick nor ramparts of stone. Our true bastion is people. It is people that are our ramparts, their unwavering faith our bulwark. And yet, that is far easier said than done, as shown by how my copy finds it difficult to toe that line. That is the moral that I shall take from this fable. Very well then, my other selves. My fellow soldiers, the time is upon us. To the battlefield!
Knowing Anderson, she gets burned at the stake afterwards anyway. Scripted for player to lose? No. Well, in canon, I don't know, maybe.
このチャチャがオールウェイズお見通し。チャチャのなんかすごい力をくらえ。
くらえ!
I love you, Cha-Cha.
承知いたしました。
Wait, what's the cooldown on this? Yeah, it's a bit long.
それチャチャ。あなたの刃ですもの。
せい。開いた開いた。分け物。開いた。トナカイさん、お願いします。
See, that's funny because it's quite literally a Tonakai-san. It's a reindeer man.
それ。
承知いたしました。痛いですか？
Yeah, go ahead and hit waiver all you want. That's cool.
ではチャチャの方 すごいぞ本当に。それな。
承知いたしました。